So let's get into
Yeah,
who
let's do that.
Devin Haney should fight next and what's next for Devin Haney after putting on this masterclass performance, which is the name of this episode, masterclass, because of what Devin Haney did. Bryan, after that shutout performance against a proven champ at 140 pounds, a guy that was doing it big at 140 for a very, very long time, Regis Prograis. After a performance like that, what is next for Devin Haney?
We said that the winner of this fight could probably do whatever they want. And I think Devin Haney is going to continue to pursue big names and big fights and big money fights, and he has the right to do that. To me, the most interesting fight is Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez. Can you make that come together promotionally? Sure, like they can figure it out. I think the money will be there, will absolutely be there. Devin Haney, did well in terms of attendance in the Bay Area at the Chase Center. And I think that while Tank was mocking, oh, tickets are available only for this much, whatever, whatever, like that's good for Devin Haney to do that because let's be honest, not a lot of boxers are nearly selling out basketball arenas, at least in the United States. Um, and for him to have a homecoming fight as technically the B side and it do well like that, that's great for Devin Haney. It also leads to conversations about like how big can this get. Teofimo Lopez is the big one for me. I think Ryan Garcia is a sneaky, interesting one. I don't think anyone realistically who really understands boxing is picking Ryan Garcia to win that fight, but the buildup will be interesting. The money will be there. Oscar De La Hoya is already pushing for it on X, Twitter, whatever. And I think that Devin Haney, versus Ryan Garcia would be less risky than fighting Teofimo Lopez, is what I would say. Those are the first two names I've really thought about in terms of realistic scenarios if he's going to stay at 140. Josh Taylor has also called out Devin Haney. Not as interested in that because of how Teofimo Lopez whooped him. But I would watch that fight. I just think Devin Haney would win that one going away as well.
Devin Haney definitely beats Josh Taylor. I think when we take a look at 140 and we take a look at Devin Haney, he's talked about moving up to 147. But if we just focus on 140, I think obviously the money fight where I think he would make the most bank would be Ryan Garcia. And that is a fight where these two have gone back and forth. I believe Ryan Garcia beat Haney 2 times in the amateurs. Don't quote me on that, but I know that he does have a win against Devin in the amateurs. So that's interesting. Obviously, they do have a history. But the most interesting fight to make at 140 is Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. Because that is a fight not only for casual fans, but I think that's also a very great fight for boxing nerds because depending on what Teofimo Lopez we get, and Teofimo Lopez right now seems focused. He seems like he's in a very good place. To fight Devin Haney after this performance, that fight is absolutely massive. And I even think that's pay-per-view worthy. Was this fight pay-per-view worthy tonight? I don't think so, to be honest with you. But
No.
going into this fight as like a boxing nerd, I was like, I can see why, but I don't think casual fans were kind of really digging it. As for Tank and Devin Haney, I don't think that fight gets made because Tank is not going to move back up to 140. He fought Mario Barrios at 140, never went back at 140. So that's just a fight I just don't think happens. Maybe possibly later on in the future we get Shakur and Devin. I don't know how interesting of a fight that would be, but it's
It
gonna
would
either
definitely
have
be
to
a
be
chess match. It would definitely be that.
it's gonna have to either be Ryan Garcia, and I think that fight does get made because I think Devin would get a bag, and as would Ryan. Like that fight would transcend more than just boxing fans. It would be great on social media. Both those guys know how to talk, and I think it would be great for both of their careers. But the more interesting fight is him and Teofimo Lopez. I don't know if that fight gets made because who is the A side in that fight? They're going to be arguing about that
Oh.
forever. That's the biggest question because is it Devin Haney who just did that to Regis Prograis, or is it Teofimo Lopez that made Josh Taylor, who listen was undisputed at 140,
Who
look
beat
like
Regis Prograis, technically.
yes,
Even
yes,
though, did he really?
that's
But he beat him.
questionable. Yeah.
But like I think
That's why the fight won't happen with him and Teofimo Lopez. I'm telling you right now, because
Right.
I'm telling you that's why the fight's
Because
not going
it's
to
gonna
happen.
become a pissing contest between Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, and Teofimo Lopez is going to want to be the A side. There was a fight recently that he just denied. What didn't he? Because he said he wanted more money.
I don't remember.
There,
Oh, Teofimo Lopez you're talking about?
yeah, he
I
was
think it was
supposed.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, and he was like, "I want more money" or
Yeah.
something like that because I'm that
Which is
dude. So
crazy because I think he'd make a ton of money, but I don't know what the offer was. But I think regardless, like Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez is the fight to make. But if you had to ask me what is the fight that I think actually gets made next for Devin Haney, I think it's probably Ryan Garcia.
okay,
I,
and
I just that's where I'm at.
let's go to the comments. I think this is a fight that doesn't get made, Larry, because this guy's too well, not that one. We're both clicking at the same time.
I
Sorry,
didn't
me
click
and
anything.
okay, maybe it's just me and my fingers here.
We'll get to you
Still
too,
shook.
Sherm Show.
Still
We'll get
shook.
to you too.
Larry Lopez says Haney should unify with Teo or Matias. I don't think anyone's gonna fight Subriel Matias. I'm sorry, like he's too scary. I just don't think that fight's gonna happen. And then also like the name of the fight. I think it's too risky. I think
Teofimo
it's
tried it apparently, so we'll see what happens. Maybe Teofimo Lopez Subriel Matias actually happens in April. If it all props to well both guys because we're giving Teofimo Lopez credit for potentially fighting Subriel Matias in that scenario. I mean, props to Subriel Matias too because I mean, yes, it's a money fight and it's an obvious move. Teofimo Lopez is not an easy fight by any means. You know that's going to be dangerous and betting wise. I'm fascinated to see what that line would open up as. Sherm Show says Haney versus Teo will be for undisputed. I think Sherm Show you would be saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that they'll probably rack up each another belt and then eventually come together and fight for all the belts. Like you know, Haney beats Subriel and Teofimo beats, I guess, Rolly Romero, and we'll figure it out. But I don't look. I think
yo,
Haney
Teo
versus Teofimo
and
Lopez
Rolly
should
would be
happen.
really good too.
And Sherm Show says exactly. See, I got you, Sherm. All right. Jovi T points out Ryan and Devin are 3-3 in the amateurs.
Okay, so I was close. I was close. I said they were 2-2, but
Yeah, I
interesting.
like whatever to me. I mean, Terrence Crawford, famously not like an amazing amateur boxer, and we've seen what he's become since. So, you know, we'll see. I think Teofimo Lopez is the fight here. But